Hi, this is an instructional video for the 5532 maintenance for the humidification system, the procedures for cleaning and changing the transducer element. The first thing you need to do is unplug the unit and remove your water supply. To get the water supply out, you have to shut it off and bleed the pressure. That's already been done to this line, so this one comes right out. The next thing you need to do is remove the 4 thumb screws over the lid here of the reservoir. And remove the lid. Pull it out of your way. You can pull the gasket off, get that out of your way. Next thing you need to do is to drain the water. We typically just siphon the water out, but it's not always, the best thing to do to get the water in your mouth, so it is an option to use a siphon that you can get at your hardware store just for pulling the water out. It suctions it up and pushes it out. Either that or you have to use a sponge or a paper towel. But to siphon it, we just stick this in here, get a little below the water level, little suction, and the water comes out. And you just drain the water from here. It takes a few minutes. Okay, and once you get all the water drained out that you can, you have to go back in and dry it with a paper towel. So, just get in here and just dry this off so you don't have any water get into the electronics once you take out your disc. You don't want to dilute the vinegar, so it's always good to dry it out. Here. Just make sure we're good and dry. It might not even hurt to leave it open for a few hours to let it air out and air dry, but you can see that the water's gone. You're pretty much in good shape. Okay, once you have the unit dried on a piece of paper towel, you want to take clear distilled white vinegar and just put a little bit on your paper towel, not a whole lot, just enough to dampen a small area. Then hit the white disc in the center, just sort of twist it around and make sure you swipe it off, and that's clean. Now the next thing, for changing the transducer element, you have supplied an extra transducer and a key tool in a package. The extra elements usually get supplied with a little rubber black ring. You want to remove that ring first. Then inside the old unit, you take your key tool into the slots on the retainer ring and it's counterclockwise to loosen. Just comes out here. Retainer ring comes out. There's a rubber O-ring washer or gasket that you need to make sure stays there. Then either using your finger or a flathead screwdriver, you pry up the old disc, take the new disc, place it in the center, take your retainer ring, make sure that the washer's still on there, and you sort of center that guy down and get it started. Can be a little tricky to get started. Might need the key tool to get it started. If you get it started, then you get your key tool in here. And tighten clockwise. And you want to tighten it down until it's snug. Keep using the key tool. And that's snug. So that's changing the transducer on. The next thing you do is replace your lid, gasket, and make sure seat's back underneath the lid on the groove here. If you just get that on here and kind of hold it in place with your fingers, you can then manipulate the lid in here. Seat back on, get your thumb screws, throw them in here. Usually I'll start counter corner. Then you will reconnect your water source, plug the unit back in, turn on your water supply, and you're ready to go. And that is the instructions for cleaning the transducer and replacing the element.